Have you ever wondered how it is that so many people still leave their stove tops or curling irons on, yet we seldom hear about house fires anymore? In fact, in the last 50 years, house fire incidents has decreased by over 40%. The reason for this being that we now implement chemical flame retardants into most consumer products. However, it's also recently becoming apparent that these chemicals can have unintended health effects, particularly on wildlife. Flame retardants have been found to leach into aquatic ecosystems and are often toxic to fish. A new flame retardant, known as TBCO, is thought to be a potential replacement option for older, more toxic flame retardants. However, my research shows that TBCO is also toxic to fish. While the toxicity of TBCO is not immediately apparent, we begin to see effects when we study multiple generations of fish. After 3 weeks of exposing adult fish to the chemical via their diet, we saw no real effects. However, upon collecting their eggs and conducting chemical analysis, we discovered that the chemical was being maternally transferred to their offspring. We then assessed for embryotoxicity of these offspring using a microscope. The offspring not only displayed different malformations like spinal curvature, but were later found to suffer from reproductive impairment. These unexpected results can ultimately be explained by the fact that early life stage organisms are often far more sensitive to the effects of chemicals than are adults. For example, in the 1960s, the infamous drug thalidomide was prescribed to pregnant mothers as a means of treating their morning sickness. Developers of the drug proclaimed that it was safe for use by all. However, the chemical had only been tested on adult organisms. Scientists soon began to observe developmental defects in children born to mothers that had taken the drug while pregnant, thus illustrating the importance of early life stage testing, particularly when maternal transfer is a potential route of exposure. So, what can we conclude from all of this? Well, first off, just because a chemical shows no immediate effects does not mean that it can't induce effects on progeny. Additionally, in the case of TBCO, just because a chemical is a new and novel replacement option does not necessarily mean that it's less toxic than its predecessor. To conclude, while flame retardants have revolutionized modern fire safety, we need to further our understanding of the environmental toll of fire control.